Hey Aries, welcome to your June 2019 Blue Jay Calls General Tarot Read. That's right, General Tarot Read. So take the messages that apply to you finding your own inner strength and balance. Leave behind what doesn't suit you or your higher good or your higher wisdom, balance, life moving in order alone. It's not a message for you. I'm in a different spot this month, so I've pre-drawn the cards and I'm going to go through and tell the story of them. The first card that we had pop out was the Strength card. So your current energy is strength, and you're gathering your power, you're feeling in balance, you're playing with animals, you're getting your stuff in order, you're realizing your kingdom, if you will. And underneath that is this card that supports that, realizing hope. So that strength, that effort, that work you're putting in to yourself, your surroundings, the world, all of it is paying off, and it's helping you realize hope and putting you in a state of emotional balance where you feel like you're the Queen of Cups. Your emotions are in order, you're all balanced. Underneath this, though, these emotions had a tower moment. And that tower moment is about transformation and change. A big thing, it might be why you're realizing hope and gaining strength through action. But underneath this tower is hopes, dreams, and wishes contrasted with the hangman. So you may have found yourself in a situation where you had to choose between like your really big hopes, dreams, and wishes and something else, and you wound up creating a sacrifice for that something else. That might be why you're in your emotions and you need to realize hope and gain strength. But by letting that thing go, that tower moment, it seems to be moving you in a positive direction. There is some absence and heartache related to whatever you had to let go of, your enforced sacrifice, the thing you felt you had to let go of. And that absence and heartache can lead to some strife and conflict and sort of feelings of sadness and release. But those things are good ultimately. And that sadness leads us to the Ace of Pentacles, which is all about messages coming in, messages of prosperity, messages of renewal. So there is some hope. There is some illusion. This message is in the clouds, if you will. So it's got to be grounded into reality. And the Two of Swords and the Seven of Wands imply that you have some balance and strength, but there's some aspect of this situation that you're blind to. So let's take a look at what our current energy is. And the Ten of Swords came up. What's coming in, what's coming in. So this Ten of Swords thing sort of supports this tower moment. There's a big change happening in your life. Something is different, something's happening, and underneath this change is devil energy. So something you were bound or constricted by or constricted to, either a thought pattern or something that held you back. And on one side are these simple messages from the Page of Pentacles, which are all about, good work, generosity, hardworking nature. And on the other side, there's a judgment. And this judgment is around a hermit or sort of sneaky, deceptive energy. So you may be forced to take a good look at your inner light. Are you using your inner wisdom? Or are you providing an unstable effort? And that judgment around yourself seems to be a key component for whatever this death is. So if you're kind of providing an unstable effort towards something, you're back and forth, you're wishy-washy on it, that's going to lead to a death and make you appear like the devil to other people, versus being the hermit and using that sound judgment that should move you to a better position here with the Ace of Wands. So messages coming in, going out, related to this unstable effort or judgment and devil situation. And surrounding these messages, it's all about the lovers. So love of the self, love of others, love of your work or creation. Below this situation, we have the Magician and the Eight of Wands. So you may have found yourself in a situation with a lover where they were the magician, but there was some pettiness or some malice or sort of some constraints and restrictions, either for the magician or for you on the situation. And crowning this is the Four of Wands, which is about perfected work, marriage card in some instances. So you may have been in a situation where there was some illusion, heavy, dull, methodical energy moving away or around it. And it could be a perfected work, or you could decide that this magician is just like a malice and petty individual and leave him alone. It could be that you're being malice and petty with yourself and not in your true magician power, and that lack of love for yourself is blocking you from getting to your crowning achievement of a perfected work. But again, the heavy, dull, methodical energy, just doing the work and getting through it, will probably get you where you need to go. Now, what's unknown to you, or what's unknown about this situation, is the King of Pentacles came up. So this is a solid creator. This is somebody who's reliable, worthy, they're in their wealth, they have a lot of wisdom and power. But what's unknown to you is that there may be some illusion about how powerful this person is. You might be looking at it as a situation where you're thinking to yourself, this person is a King of Pentacles, but that person can also be animalistic and materialistic. The moon implies that sort of illusion, but what's unknown to you is that illusion is actually hiding the Emperor, and the Emperor is obviously the King of Kings, if you will, the superpower, the one who is in his might, and the ruler sort of all. This could be you, Aries, like maybe you're hiding behind this, I'm just a steady, reliable person, but you're really the Emperor, and that's the illusion you're creating for the world. That's unknown to you, that you're really the Emperor, but people are seeing you as this King of Pentacles rather than in your full true power. And it could also be that you have an illusion about somebody else and they're really the Emperor. A steady, reliable foundation underneath it all. However you figure this situation out, because it's unknown to you now, looks like it's going to be moving towards a triumph and a conquest with the Six of Wands, and ultimately getting you into a place where you have a strong, solid foundation, whether that's with yourself or outside of you, in a work or a love situation. But recognizing the illusions around the situation, the true power of yourself or other people involved, will move you to a victory and a Ten of Cups, strong, solid foundation. A final outcome on all of this, I drew the Nine of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles is all about, again, that solid foundation, that base to work from. You can see happiness and mirth, there's balance with the animals, lots of wealth and pentacles. And the final outcome may be determined by walking away from something that doesn't serve you, the Eight of Cups. These could be ideas or people or situations or circumstances, but walking away implies that you're going to be moving to Two of Cups, so a more balanced state, harmony and mirth. The High Priestess is going to be providing wisdom and insight to underlie this situation. So using your sound judgment, really listening, really taking in all the information will help you here move into that Empress power. And related to this, there's the Seven of Pentacles sort of hanging out over here, which is all about hard work and some level of success, with the journey and a toil kind of thing involved in it. So there's going to be some work associated with this. This work seems to be about seeking that higher wisdom and ultimately leaving something behind. Even though you have a solid foundation, will move you to your Empress power and sort of balance, harmony, and mirth. Final outcome, if everything remains the same, Knight of Cups, so movement in a graceful and poetic way towards something. The Three of Pentacles is all about balance and being a solid creator, and there's some air of selfishness under there. So the cautionary note might be, as you're moving forward gracefully and poetically, be sure not to appear selfish. You might wind up being perceived as cruel, or an overbearing force as a result of that, and that could impact your final outcome. So selfishness is something to watch out for. Be more in your steady of emotions, like the King of Cups would be, in this balanced, powerful place. Emotion, energy in motion. So by having a positive outlook on things, you can move forward by cutting things off with wisdom and clarity. There may be a battle involved. You may feel a little beat up at the end of it, but this force, the Nine of Wands, is an extreme force. It's extremely strong position to be in. You can see there's a lot of walls and boundaries up. The person's got a stick. They're ready to do battle as they need to. They look tired and humble. So, as you move through this energy, this emotional balance becomes really important, even if you feel beat up, like you've lost something to treachery. Remember, you're moving forward towards emotional balance and success. Knight of Cups offers, and potentially other things. The underlying energy On the bottom of the deck was the Queen of Wands. So this is all about adaptability and sympathy, like having a sympathetic nature, and certainly being balanced, being open to other possibilities, the things that other people say, not being so rooted in your own way. That adaptability and sympathetic nature winds up allowing you to see the truth of a situation by actually listening to the other person and going forward. So the caution here is don't be an overbearing force that could result in a loss. And definitely balance your emotions, and there are good things coming in for you, Aries, in the month of June. Take care, and we'll see you next time.